Alright, so I'm going to show how to open up and disassemble this Lenovo Y520-15IKBN. So first what you want to do is remove all the screws from the bottom. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright, so once you remove all 13 screws, then you'll want to pry the cover open. So just get your fingernails or pry tool along the gaps here, and then you can pry it up. Alright, don't use too much force because you can crack the plastic. Hopefully this is all being in view. Alright, some small pieces. Okay, so just keep going all the way around. Slide your fingernail or pry tool around as you kind of lift it up. Alright, same with the other side. Alright, just like that. And then go around to the front. Pry that up as well. Let's see if I can get this all in camera. Okay, it's a little stuck there. Let's see here. So these last ones on the front are a little bit trickier, but yep, just get underneath and then pry it up. Just like that. Let's see here. Yeah, those clips are a little trickier. Okay, so once you get all the clips out, you can lift the cover off. So if yours is dirty like this, just clean it off with a toothbrush or something. So I'll clean it later so it doesn't take up time. But yeah, then you can see here you got the battery. So first thing you want to do whenever you work on computers, well, of course, make sure you turned it off first. But after you do that, you always want to remove the battery. So for this, there's not really much place to grab it, so you'll have to actually grab the connector here. To make it easier, what you can do is remove the screws from the battery. So there's one here. Alright, try and keep the screws in order. Most of them are, all the ones on the bottom are the same size, but when you start getting to the parts on the inside, they are different size, so try and keep them in order. Okay, so you got one there, one there. So it looks like there's two on either side. So this one has two on the right side, the other one has like on these corners here. Okay, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so once you remove all those screws, you should be able to lift the battery. I don't see any others. So, oh, okay. So it looks like you can't just directly lift the battery. What you have to do is you have to slide it to the side. There's actually a little slot here, and then once you do that, you can lift it out. So remember, when you put it back in, you want to have it slid to the right side as far as possible, and then slide it back. So that actually locks the battery in place. Okay, so slide it out and then pull it like that. And then just grab the connector here and don't pull really hard, but just wiggle it side to side. Alright, and you'll see the connector just comes out. So if you need to replace the battery, let's see, the model number is here, L16M3P24. Okay, so that's that. Alright, so here you can see I'm going to have to actually transfer everything over because this computer has a keyboard issue. So I'm actually replacing the whole keyboard assembly. I'm not going to show the whole process on how to reassemble it, but I will show how to take it apart. Okay, so now you can see there's the trackpad cables here. So this goes directly to the trackpad. You can flip this little latch up and then you can pull this connector out. Just like that. If you can grab the little blue tab and pull it. So that works better. Get your fingernail underneath and then you can pull it out. Then you got the other connector to the motherboard. You can just pull that out as well. Alright. So try and remember, you're going to have to keep all of this in order. Then you got the keyboard backlight here. To remove that, there's these little white tabs that stick out. Just pull it back, and then after that it releases and you can pull the cable out. Same with the keyboard one, you just flip this little latch up and then you can wiggle this cable out. It might be a little tough. If you can't get it out, you might have to use something longer to stick between this gap here. Let's see if this will help. So stick the needle between the gap and then lift it up, and then it should pop out. Come on. There we go, just like that. So this cable has these little wings that kind of get caught down there, so I had to use the needle to kind of pull it up. I don't think you can grab it here. If you can't do that, it might also be easy if you get a piece of tape and just stick it on this and then use the tape as a pull tab to pull it out. Okay, then you got the SSD here. It looks like a PCIe NVMe. Let's see if I can confirm. Yeah, so this is a M.2 PCIe NVMe. So if you need to replace the SSD or wanted to upgrade to get more storage, make sure to get an M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD. Okay, so to remove it, just take the screw out and then wiggle it out like that. Alright, let's see what else. So this board I'm going to have to transfer over as well, so I'll just remove that. It might be easier to just transfer it as I go, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to remove them and then leave them out. So it looks like they have little latches on the top here, so when you take this out, just be careful. Let's see, is there a special way to remove this? Might have to pull this downwards. Oh yeah, okay. So pull this downwards and then you can take it out. So when you put it back, slide it, put it down, back down this way, and then you can slide it underneath these little clips. Okay. Alright, so we'll set that aside. This is part of the palm rest assembly, the trackpad. They actually, looks like they melted plastic around to hold it in place. Okay, and this piece is actually the physical buttons that get, or the buttons that actually get pressed. So this is just plastic that there's no circuitry in there. But this part has the circuits for the touchpad. Okay, then you got this connector here. I'm not sure what this is. IOBD. I don't know. Oh, I get it. It's a I/O board. So this is like a extra data board. They just call it I/O board. Okay, so you can remove that connector by flipping that and then pulling it out. This connects the CMOS battery here, as well as the headphone jack, the 1 key recovery button, the USB port, and the Ethernet port. So the 1 key recovery button, if you don't know what that does, when you push that, you have to use a little needle because it's recessed inside a hole. And that will allow you to put your computer in recovery mode so you can basically factory restore your computer. Okay, and then another thing, there's underneath here should be the RAM. So to get this out, I just get my fingernail or a pry tool underneath the little edge or corner of this metal plate, and then this metal cover, and then you can lift it up. So just do that on all the corners. I think the tape here is holding it in place, so I can't completely remove this. If not, I have to peel up that tape, which I don't want to do. Let's see here. Oh, actually I might have to show you. Okay, so I'll peel up this side. So you can peel it up like this. The tape is still stuck there, and they're only using one slot, so usually I'll pull the two clips to the side, and that'll let you access or remove the RAM. And this is a 8 gig stick, PC4 2400T. So if you need RAM, if you wanted to upgrade it, get like 16 gigs. Open your cover first and make sure, because sometimes they'll put like 2 4 gig sticks instead of one 8 gig. But if you have that, you can get the same matching memory, and then you can have 16 gigs. Alright, usually for most people 8 gigs is more than enough, so you don't really need to upgrade it, but some people, they want to have like as much as possible. So if you're interested, then that. Though there is one improvement. If you only have one stick, it's better to have two, actually. That will speed up your computer. Okay, so now we got this board. So there's 2 screws holding it up here. So, oh, hopefully you saw that. Yeah, okay, so remove the 2 screws. And hopefully that will be enough to remove the whole board. Let's see here. So got those 2 screws out. And is there another trick to this? So there's a little metal latch here, so you can't lift it up from that side. You have to lift it up from this side. And the CMOS battery actually has some adhesive on it, so make sure to peel that up first. Okay, or disconnect it at least. So here you can see there's just some double stick tape there. Alright, after you do that, you should be able to lift this up from this side. What is it getting caught on? The headphone jack? Okay, so you lift it up and then you have to kind of pull it this way, it looks like, just to release the headphone jack, and then you can slide it out from this metal clip here. Alright, so that's how you would remove that. Alright, let's see. So that's not taped down, that's good. Then you got the speaker here. So the speaker comes up. It just has these little rubber things that hold it with friction. So if you need to take it out, you can take it out. Alright, let's see. I'm going to have to transfer over the headphone or the charging cable. So the charge port is held in with 2 more screws here. To remove the charge port, you also have to remove this board because this part is caught underneath. Okay, so we'll remove that as well. Set that metal plate aside. Alright, this one looks like it'll be tough if you don't do this very often. Make sure you have like good memory or something, because it's going to be a lot of stuff that you have to take out and put back. Okay, hopefully this is part of the fan assembly. Okay, it is, so I can actually leave it all as one piece. Oh, looks like pieces of plastic on this one are broken. So I don't know if it was dropped or something. So the wireless card, to remove the wireless antennas, you just go as close to the tail as you can and then just lift up, just like that. Alright, you don't want to pry from the front or you can damage the connectors. If you want to remove the wireless card, I'm not going to do it because it's part of the board, so I mean, I'm going to just put it back on anyways. But for the wireless card, if you want to remove it, you just undo the screw. It'll kind of pop up like the RAM, and then you just wiggle it out. And then to put it back, just put it back at the angle, push it back down, put the screw in, and yep, you're good to go. Alright, so all these pieces look like they'll stay in place with the board. So I will just pull up the 2 speakers. So this speaker is also held in place with just those rubber things. And then I will route this stuff out from underneath the plastic. Alright, and I'll leave that on top. Later I will clean out the dust as well because it is pretty dusty. For that, I just use the toothbrush and then I use an air blower and blow the dust back in the other way so the dust balls come back out. Alright, so let's see. I don't think I can remove the warranty sticker without damaging it, so probably have to just destroy it. Okay, let's see here. So I think that's all the connected things. There's the LCD cable connected here. So to remove that, you flip up this little latch and then you can pull this out. Usually when you do this kind of stuff, removing the LCD cable, you want to disconnect the battery and then hold the power button for a few seconds to make sure that power is drained out from it. If there's power remaining in the capacitors and you just yank it out, sometimes you can cause damage, so be careful with that. Alright, let's see if I can remove this little sticker. I don't think so. Okay, I can go underneath from this side, but I'm pretty sure it's going to tear. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, it's just going to tear. Okay, I'm just going to rip it up then, because it looks like that's not going to be removable. So, oh, actually it's coming out. Okay. So, that sticker came out, so I'll leave it there. I can take the screw out. Alright, and then take the other screw out from this side. So you got, so far, 2 screws here. And then it looks like there's another 2 screws up here. Oops, hopefully you're able to see what I'm doing. Alright. Got those 4 screws, I think. Okay, then there's 2 screws here holding the fan, and then another screw on this side holding the fan. So we'll remove all of those. Let's see, are there more screws? Is there one hidden underneath that little X? Okay, looks like there's another screw up in this corner here. So remove that as well. I'm not sure if that's holding the fan assembly or it's just holding part of the casing on there. So let's see. It's still being held down. There must be a screw there. I feel like there's a screw hiding under there. So let's see if I lift this thing up and then I can peel it up so I don't have to tear this. Okay, so we'll lift this metal thing back up. Flip it over from the left side, or my left side. Okay. Let's see here. Can I peel this over? There's nothing there. Oh, there's a screw here. So there is one hidden screw underneath here. It's just barely hidden underneath, so remove that one as well. And for this, you want to use a pH, I didn't mention it, but the screwdriver is a pH 1 or a J1. Okay, that screw looks like it'll stay in place, so let's see, am I missing anything else? Are they hiding more screws under here somewhere? Nope. Okay, doesn't look like it. Okay, that looks like all the screws holding the board in place. So once you get all of that out, hopefully you can just lift it up like this. Alright, make sure that you're touching something metal, like my knee is actually on the metal part of my desk to keep me from building up static charge, so that's kind of a more common thing, so I usually tend to forget to mention it because usually people will kind of think of that when they're taking their computers apart. Alright, so get this out. Is there something stuck underneath here? Oh, the wireless antennas. Oh man, so I do have to thread this whole thing out. Okay, so the wireless antennas are kind of keeping it in place because this wire's in the way. So you will have to kind of at least unthread this stuff to move the wireless antennas out. So let's take the charge DC jack out. So we'll unthread the charge port wire. Might have to like work it around, twist it around to make sure the thinnest part is going out of the little clips here. It's kind of a pain. Come on. Yeah, these clips are too strong. Okay, you kind of have to bend the clip out to pull it out. Alright, bend the clip out while you lift this out. There we go. Then we can get the whole wireless cable out of the way. It's too bad they didn't route that a separate way so that you can leave everything intact. Yeah, so take out the wireless antennas. Be careful with the wireless antennas, you don't want to damage them. Alright, why is it stuck there? There we go. Alright, so now that we got that out, we should be able to lift the whole board out. Be careful because the fans aren't secured to anything, so if you're not careful, the fans will just fall down. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to mention. So if you lift this cover up, you can see the fan. Let's see, where's the fan connectors? Are they on the other side? Okay, let's see. That's weird. Oh, I was confused. So this is the fan connector. So where's the speakers? Oh, this is the fan connector? Okay, my bad. So this is the speaker connector, and then this is for the fan. Okay, so this connects actually both fans. Alright, so now we can set that aside. Oh, if you wanted to, these connectors tend to be very difficult to remove, but basically you just grab it, keep wiggling it and pulling it, and it'll slowly eventually pull out, but it's very tough. So all these connectors, you kind of just grab the edges and you kind of just keep wiggling them, and eventually they'll come out. So sorry, I forgot to mention that. Okay, so I'll set the board aside. now all that's left, let's see, we got this plastic stuff. Okay, what else do we got? So, all this stuff looks like they matched except for this. I guess they couldn't transfer over this thermal stuff, so they instead put a piece of copper there under the plastic. But anyways, now you got that. So it looks like to remove the screen, you actually have to remove this whole bracket. So we didn't have to remove this screw earlier, but now that we're going to remove the screen, we have to actually remove all these screws. So they have, I guess, a pretty crazy mechanism to hold the screen in place. So if you need to replace the hinges or anything, it's going to be kind of a pain. But I guess it's a good design because it keeps the more pressure on the hinge so that the hinge is less likely to break. And I've seen a lot of plastic hinges break, so I guess they did it for that reason. Alright, so we'll remove these 3 screws as well. So you got 3 of these really wide flat screws, and then you got 2 of the long screws on the back here. And I think that should be all, and you should be able to lift this up. There might be a trick to it. Okay, there are little clips on each one of this, so it will be kind of tough to lift, but it looks like you would lift it from this side, and that should allow you to get the clips out. Kind of have to just use some force. Yeah, there we go. So I'm pulling it this way or pushing it that way while I kind of twist it up and pull on it. So that gets the clip released from these little flat edges. Or you can use like a screwdriver or something to try and pull it, but that's kind of tougher, so I'll do it that way. Okay, so that's how you remove that little plastic bracket. Alright, now we just have to remove the hinges. So for the hinges, what I do, be careful when opening it because now there's only 2 screws holding each side. But open the computer. Usually I'll open it about 90 degrees. I don't know if I'll be able to show this, but usually I'll hang the screen off the desk. Let's see if I can actually see this or show this. So I would hang the screen off the desk. You probably can't see it, but while it's hanging off the desk, then I will take out the screws. So that way, when it releases, I can hold on to the screen. Usually I'll just like squeeze onto it with my legs, so that way when I undo it, the screen, if it does fall, it won't like fall and hit the ground. So that's how I do that. Let's see if I can actually show it. There we go. Let's see. So I'll do it like this. Remove the 2 screws here. Okay, and then remove the other 2 screws here. Alright, and I think that's completely removed. Just lift the thing out, make sure the cables aren't getting caught on any of these little clips or anything, and that's pretty much it. As far as the screen goes, it looks like all the other easy to remove screens where you kind of just pull the bezel out, so you can pop the bezel all the way around, and then there's likely just going to be 4 screws. So if you wanted to see how to replace the screen, just watch another of my either complete disassembly videos or screen replacement videos, and a lot of them will be very similar, where you kind of just pry this up. I don't want to do it on one where the screen's okay because there's a risk to damaging the screen. So yeah, if you're curious how to replace the screen, there's a lot of videos with very similar design where there's just a plastic bezel, and just watch one of those that I made, and that should show you how to do that. But it looks like that's pretty much it. The part seems to have the same stuff. So yeah, hopefully this video helped you. If it did, please like and subscribe because that'll help me. If you have some questions on how to put it back together, just rewatch the video and imagine the steps in reverse, and that should help you with that. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye.